from you after all the time you spent learning and growing. Your growth will leave you. What's the key to maintaining all the Torah, all the goodness that you worked so hard to achieve? Say our Chachamim is midot, is character traits. I want to read you a couple of beautiful ideas that we have in this realm, in the realm of midot, and how important they are to Torah. The Gemara says in Pesachim, Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav. Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Rav, Kol amit yaher. You have a person who's arrogant. Im tamid chacham, if he's a tamid chacham, chochmato mistaleket mimenu. So the Gemara calls him a tamid chacham. It's not like if I call him a tamid chacham. I'm a nobody. But the Gemara calls him a tamid chacham. That's a pretty high level. The Gemara said about that level tamid chacham. If the guy is arrogant, you know what happens? All of his wisdom. Im naviu. If the guy is a prophet, can we just recognize what level you need to be on a prophet? Who here has met a prophet? Correct. Nobody. We don't have them anymore. We don't have them anymore. Im naviu, says the Gemara. He's a navi. Nevuato mistaleket mimenu. He loses his nevuah. You know how long it takes to prepare yourself to become a navi? And now you became arrogant and your nevuah left you? What happened to all the work I put in? The ladder of Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair that leads you all the way to Ruach HaKodesh. All the work I put in. Gone in a second? Yes, says the Gemara. Gemara Nedarim, Rabbi Yirmiyah Midifti says, Kol HaKo'es, a person who gets angry, Mishakeach Talmudo, he loses his learning, Umosif Tipshut, and he becomes like a fool. So much so, the Gemara tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he got angry in the desert, he forgot the halakha. Moshe Rabbeinu, the greatest Chacham, the greatest the Navi, he lost it. He couldn't remember what the halakha was because of his anger. My friends, I want you to understand. I'm wearing a jacket now that if you come feel it afterwards, you'll see it feels like a raincoat. Okay? And I discovered what the term is when it rains on the jacket, and you'll see that the water doesn't go into the jacket. It sits there, beads up on top. You go like this, it shakes off. The jacket's not wet. That's why I bought it, by the way. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Who could imagine not needing a raincoat where your actual suit is a raincoat? It's raining, everyone's like, oh no. I'm like, oh yes, bring it. Okay? You know what that's called? Hydrophobic. That's what it's called. Hydrophobic, you go like this, boom, all the water pops right off. The water doesn't let the water go in. My friends, when a person has bad midot, then their body becomes hydrophobic. You know, in the language of Chazal, we say, En mayim ela Torah. Torah is compared to water. When a person has bad midot, their heart, hydrophobic. Their mind, hydrophobic. You're pouring in the learning, you did the breakfast in the class, you listened to the Spotify, you reviewed it 17 times, you did everything. It doesn't matter. You lose it. Moshe Rabbeinu, he got angry about, even though it was the right thing to get angry about, by the way, he lost it. What we're learning here, my friends, is that midot and Torah are mutually interdependent. And when you don't have one, when there's bad midot in a person, what happens? All the Torah that goes into him is repelled. Even Torah that you acquired previously to this moment. Not that you're trying to get it now. Even that, the Torah is repelled by bad midot. So much so that our Chachamim tell us something unbelievable. Not only is the Torah repelled from a person who has bad midot, but the Torah that he has becomes twisted. And if you ever see a person who's using religion as a weapon against somebody else, a weapon to embarrass, to humiliate, to put somebody down, what's happening? Our Chachamim tell us that if a person has good midot, the Torah for him is Sam HaChaim, the elixir of life. But if a person has negative character traits, then the Torah that he has becomes Sam HaMavet. It's like taking Miracle Grow and you're spraying it on the plants. If the plants you're spraying it on are hydrangeas, Hazaku Baruch, you did well. If the plants you're spraying it on is thorns, what's your Miracle Grow going to do? Give you more thorns. So suddenly you take all the Torah that you know and you use it to be dishonest. And you use it to raise yourself up above everybody else. You'll take lessons. I remember once